young Sammy Fabelman aspires to become a filmmaker. As he reaches adolescence, he soon discovers a shattering family secret and explores how the power of films can help him see the truth. First of all, this movie pulls inspiration from the life of its director and co-writer, and it's the kind of Steven Spielberg's life story. It's a cinematic memoir of sorts, depicts a fictionalized version of Spielberg's own family and upbringing. Unfortunately, this cinematic memoir is really scattered and hollow. The director doesn't seem to understand the most interesting aspects of his own story, nor how to structure that story. This movie really suffers from a glaring lack of narrative focus. It's a case where filmmaker's fascination with his own origin is unavoidably weighed down by self-indulgence and sentimentality. The director is getting high on his own supply, but with too little focus. He cannot seem to kill any of his darlings, which makes things get blurry, and the whole thing often doesn't add up too much. It's a drama about the magic of the movies that itself is far too often lacking in that department. The movie is rife with details that are so specific that they feel ripped from the director's memories. It's often losing itself to details that are irrelevant to whatever its narrative arc happens to be at the time. It ambitiously covers a lot of ground in just over 2.5 hours. Its attempt at creating an instant old Hollywood classic is artificial at best, as we simply get lost throughout. This movie is actually decent when it remains focused on Sammy's years as a budding filmmaker, capturing the joy of creating cinema from nothing but a love of theatrics and a little ingenuity. Unfortunately, the first act devolves into unpacked trauma, detracting too much from a smooth story arc. While the main focus is Sammy's evolution as an artist, there's also another plot that follows Mitzi and her flagging faith in her marriage. Michelle Williams does the best she can, but she often ends up feeling less like a person. Her vulnerability is played as boldly as her false bravado. We never fully see her. Instead, she comes in flashes and rather disjointed. Despite the actor's effort, there's only so much to be done with a cheery and morose character whose every thought and feeling is written across her face. The movie's tonal shifts also feel inconsistent, bringing the audience into a dreamlike state during a dizzying second act. For much of its length, the film's pacing moves very slow, scattering momentum as it goes. In the end, this autobiographical film about the director's childhood never digs beneath the surface. It's overlong, bloated, with heavy-handed emotional beats. The movie's intention to bringing wonder to the mundane falls flat. There's only one good thing about this movie, which is the performance of Gabriel LaBelle as a young Sammy. Unfortunately, that's not enough for us to recommend this movie. We do not recommend this movie at all.